This is the chess song. हाँ चेस में जो ये मजा है, इसके इतने सारे रंग, सीखे खेले आजमाए, चेस बेस इंडिया के संग। थोड़ी देगी चेस थ्योरी, इन-डेप्थ कमेंटरी, यहाँ कवरेज है बेमिसाल। इम्प्रूवमेंट होगी तेरी, ब्लंडर से ब्रिलियंसी, बनना चाहे तू भी तार। शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल।
आजा देख ले मुझे, मैं आंखें मिला लूं, ट्रैप लगा के मैं नर्वस करा दूं। तुझे क्या पता तू करेगा खता, फिर मैच की कथा को प्रथा बना दूं। टिक टाइम जा रहा है नीचे, प्रेशर तुझे मिसल टेक में खींचे। गुरुजी ने इसे काबल बनाया, पीसेस के यूं खड़े कर दूंगा बगीचे।
1 मिनट, बगीचे?
हाँ बगीचे, अटैकिंग प्लेयर हूँ यार।
ढूंढ ले, checks captures threats in this position. ढूंढ ले, हर मन में खोज ले best decision. ढूंढ ले, जब हो जाए सही calculation, इससे better feel नहीं है यार। शतरंज का कमाल, 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 शतरंज का कमाल।
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the tiebreak of round one. This song was brought to you by Devin and Dhiren. They have a wonderful channel and you can check that out. It's called Shatranj Ka Kamal. And today is the tiebreak between India's Gukesh and Pavel Teclaf. This is going to be a very, very exciting round because Gukesh and Teclaf have played 2 games of classical chess and both of them ended in draws. Pavel Teclaf, just so that you know, is 18-year-old. Gukesh is 15 years old. So Teclaf is also a very young, talented boy. And today there will be 2 games of 25 minutes plus 10-second increment. And then we will move over to, if the game ends in a draw, we will have 10 plus 10 and then 5 plus 3. And if that 6 games all end in 3-3, then we will be going to an Armageddon. So the game has begun. Teclaf goes c4, e6 by Gukesh, knight to f3, d5, e3 has been played, knight f6, b3, b6. Okay, so you know Gukesh is kind of a no pretense player. He's very, very simple, likes to play solid chess in the center. So he just put his pawn in the center. Opponent has played b3, so he went bishop b7. Now he'll put his bishop on d6 or e7. He will castle. He will put his knight to d7, put his pawn here. So seems like a pretty good position, guys. Also, there's a small change in our video quality. Let me know if you like it. I mean, I still look the same, still have the same less hair on my head, but is the video quality better? Today we have totally 19 games in the open section where there is a tie break, and in the women's section also a few of the games have reached tie breaks. Now Teclaf takes on d5, Gukesh takes ed. Okay, thank you. And knight to c3. Gambler 60 says my net was better. I thought, now I know your video quality is better. Nice. So knight bd7. Gukesh has developed his knight. I mean, generally in such positions, black does not have problems out of the opening. You know, the entire weight of the game is placed on the middle game. But we can check out on our chess based board as to how many times this has been played before. So I think it started off with c4, e6, knight to f3, d5, e3, knight to f6, b3, b6. As you can see, there are many games, around 3000 games played, but b6 is not very common. The most common move is bishop e7 here. So b6, he played bishop b2, bishop b7, cd, ed, and now knight came to c3. So already, if you see, we have few games, only 28 games in this position, but we already have players like Artemiev, Nakamura, Karyakin, Nakamura. And Gukesh has played this with white. See, this is the thing which helps you to understand ki Gukesh, see, is Gukesh by any chance white and we are making some mistake? Because you see here, Gukesh has played this position twice with the white pieces. In fact, 3 times. Abdusattorov, Rezi and Raja Ritwik. Interesting. This is chess base 16. Chess base 16. So let's have a look here. It's played rook to c1. And now Gukesh has played a6. Guys, can you tell me why is this move a6 played in the position? What is the reason? Gukesh black. Okay, wonderful. It's great to know. So Gukesh would have great knowledge about this system with white. So would also know about it with black. Yes, Aniket Kalagra, Sal's the music band. Not bishop b5. See, bishop b5, I can always play c6. Hello, Amruta, welcome.
Hi, welcome.
How are you?
I'm good.
Why are you so sad?
Oh my god, why are we so white?
No, we are dark.
No, we are not dark.
Okay, today you have to... I changed the settings a little bit from the camera and all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Take care. Let's see. Namaste everybody.
So rook c1, a6, not to stop bishop b5, guys, but to stop knight to b5. That's the point here. And knight b5 is no longer possible. So Amruta, today we have only one game we are going to focus upon. There are other games also which are going on. So we can have a look at them. But we also have a poll on the stream for the first time. We put a poll.
Okay.
And right now 1900 votes have come. 92% think that Gukesh will win. 8% think Teclaf will win.
Wow.
Guys, can you all see the poll? This is something that I figured out today.
Oh, okay. I want to see.
Ankur Arora, thank you for your super chat. I don't know if everyone can see the poll or not. But there are 1900 votes, so I'm sure they can see it.
3000 votes, they're saying. 3000 to 24 votes it's showing, Scalpel says.
Yeah, I am seeing 2050. It's
Ah,
growing.
okay.
It's growing very fast.
So maybe they can see it before us. Okay. So let's see the positions, Sagar.
Yeah.
Because
So what had happened is a6 was played, stopping knight b5, and Amruta, this position has been reached 3 times with Gukesh as white.
really,
So Teclaf
interesting.
is playing this position, bishop e2, bd6, and right now Gukesh seems to have a nice position, knight d4. The idea of this move is very interesting, guys. What is White's idea? Where does he want to play his knight, and what should Gukesh do? Come on, try to figure out what should be Gukesh's move in this position. It is white. It is black to play. White has a very interesting idea, and you need to stop it.
Do you mean that Gukesh has played knight d4 as well with white? Like you said, white. Gukesh has played this with white.
Yes, yes. No, not this. Until move 7, Gukesh has played. Everyone in the chat is also mentioning that Gamer Fleet has reached 1 million subscribers, which is amazing. A big congratulations to him.
Amazing,
Because
really.
he really picked up pace and has gained a lot of subscribers in the last few days. So congratulations to Anshu and Gamer Fleet. It's a great achievement. So knight d4 has been played, and Amruta, let's check
Knight f5 is coming.
if the chat has got it.
Yeah.
Guys, amazing.
G6, Ankam, Hari Teja, Sarat Verma, Samara Teja, Kondla, Lalita, Daksh Mehta, Sumant Pai, Ram Satwat, Jagdish Kumar, Hari Haran, Vedan Bhargava, and Saipil Fernandez.
Also, a few of them wrote correctly here, belligerent, Paras and all, that they said knight is coming to f5. So the right move has to be, to stop it with g6.
Right.
Because if you don't do it, and if you castle here, then white will go knight to f5, and already, Amruta, you are losing your
Bishop.
bishop
Exactly.
or d6. If you go to e7, I'll take it. If you go to c5, there is d4. If you go to b4, there is a3. So eventually you will lose a bishop, and the value of a bishop in such a position is very high, because it's kind of a semi-open position right now.
I agree with you. You can't allow knight f5 also because of one reason, that this bishop, and this g7 point is kind of weak. So he played rook a7.
Yeah.
Or no, was it my mouse slip or what?
No, still knight d4 only. He's not played rook a7. And
That's
guys,
right.
all those who are asking about the no castling match between Vishy and Kramnik, that will happen at 7:30 p.m. today. We may be able to catch a bit of it, because this stream would be going on and we'll be covering a bit of it. The opening part, it's a classical game, so maybe we can't look at the entire match, but I'll have summary video on it, analysis video tomorrow, so we'll be having a look at it. But 7:30 is when it begins.
Yeah. The fake nightbot asks, okay, g6 has happened on the board, by the way, as we had discussed. The fake nightbot asks, why not c5 here, allowing knight f5 and then going bishop f8 with the idea of g6, which is possible, but then
Something does look wrong, and this is kind of the feel in the position that something is not correct. But also, if you think about it, let's say I go castles, you go g6,
yeah,
I play my knight back, you
Bishop
put your bishop on g7, I go d4, then overall
castle. And now let's say
yeah, you castle, and then I can take. And let's say you take with the pawn.
and then you
I
go
think
the move knight a4.
this
The
becomes
typical-
a small weakness here
Yeah.
to play against. And if instead of pawn takes, you take with the knight, then this
Bishop
is an
f3
isolated
maybe.
pawn, and I can put pressure on it with bishop f3, maybe knight e2, knight f4. So I think g6 makes a lot of sense for now. Yes, I'm weakening the diagonal a bit, but I have this bishop, and you are right, at the correct moment after castle, the rook from f8 can go to e8, bishop f8 and bg7 can be played.
the other way, basically.
Yes.
If you need to actually, but otherwise you might even prefer having your bishop here looking at this h2 corner.
Yeah.
So g6, what he's thinking, right? Pavel is thinking.
No, he castled. Black has also castled. Both players have castled here.
And you can see a little bit feel that the knights, both of them, do not really have a good square here because everything is controlled. So
Yeah.
maybe c6 is weak, but it's of course black will go c5
Yeah.
and not allow
Actually,
knight
black has a
c6.
threat now, Amruta, of playing c5 in the position. Although Gukesh may not be very keen on playing it very soon. It's like, आप c5 खेलोगे, तो then d4 becomes much more powerful. So in a way, let's say I can first make
Yeah,
certain
what is the
improving.
move for white? You will think that's really important.
I think a3 is one move. Just
Okay.
trying to go b4 in this position.
And
Let's say
now
we
if
go
I play
c5,
c5,
knight f3.
okay, maybe queen e7, b, yeah.
I think queen e7 makes a lot of sense because now d4 is difficult to play, as after
Ah.
cd4,
This e3 is weak.
knight d4, bishop a3 could hang. So a3, maybe it looks like a normal move, but it could be quite possible that it's creating a small weakness. That's the thing about these positions. Every move has a small drawback. I think Teclaf can also just go back knight f3. And you may ask that why did he come to d4 in the first place? Well, maybe to just provoke g6 was perhaps his idea, but he goes rook e1.
Very, very, weird kind of a move. I mean, literally, there is no future here.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if his idea is bishop f1. Again, it doesn't look very good. In general, position looks pleasant for black because black has free flowing moves, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
plan also like c5, queen e7, get your rooks to at least if nowhere then e8, d8. Yeah, and maybe go knight e4 or also put pressure here. So I like Gukesh's position very much.
You love such positions with black, I know this. Amruta.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a complicated position.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that we should also look at game between Fear and Pekchak.
Okay.
Because the one who wins here will face Vidit Gujarati. And right now they are tied at 1-1. That's why they are in this tie break. And Amruta, it was some kind of Italian, and Alexander Fear seems to have got the better position out of it. G4, knight G1. He played a bit, like black. He let black overextend, and now it seems like after a move like G5 with the idea of if any queen takes, then there is F4. This already seems like better position for white. Even F3 seems to be okay. So it seems that Fear might beat Pekchak, and we may have Vidit versus Alexander Fear.
No, it looks better right now, but main thing is when black was trying to attack, already you see he is quite in that aggressive mode, and that's the reason until the king is weak.
Yeah.
You never know, it can go.
Correct. And also all the people who are asking how does the tie break work? Well, 25 plus 10 minutes, 2 games of 25 plus 10. If they end in 1-1, if someone scores 1.5, then already it's done. Like that player goes ahead to the next round. But if it is 1-1, then we go to 10 plus 10. If that is 1-1, then we go to 5 plus 2. If that is 1-1, then we go to Armageddon. This time they have reduced it from 8 games to 6 games. Generally in the World Cup, they used to have one more format. I think somewhere 10 plus 10 ke baad, I think they would have another 10 plus 10 or maybe 5 plus 3, then 3 plus 2 or something like that. But they have made it into 6 games only.
Yes,
It's
that's
actually not only, it's a lot.
still a lot. By the way, Sagar, in Gukesh's game, Pavel has right now gone back knight f3 because for rook e1, Gukesh played rook e8, one of the free flowing moves as we discussed, and then knight f3.
Yeah. So Teclaf is looking to now play d4, and I think his d4 would make not much of a sense if there is no pawn on c5. Then if black goes c5 now,
Yeah.
and now d4, then always you have the option of taking on c5 and opening up the bishop from b2. So I feel that Gukesh may think very carefully whether to go c5 or not. But if he doesn't play
Yeah,
c5,
that's the question.
what move does he have? I think a very natural move is queen e7.
Queen e7, exactly. Queen e7 is definitely a move to consider. With the idea of rook d, like he can delay c5 as much as he wants. That's the whole point. Also, after queen e7, you will, I don't know at which point, but you know you have ideas of bishop a3 and getting rid of the bishop.
Absolutely.
So,
And right now, I mean, you can also ask White what is his plan, no, after queen e7.
Exactly. I mean, my first question is why rook e1?
I think he will.
This is really
His idea is
surprising.
also the same. Just like how rook e8, one of the ideas can be bishop f8, bishop g7. Same way he can go bishop f1, g3, and bg2.
But he doesn't need to do that. I mean,
mean,
his bishop on e2 is not very
See,
active.
it
that is
depends
true.
on what kind of player Teclaf is. I feel that from the things I have seen him,
Yeah.
the way he's playing, it seems like he's a very positional player. He doesn't like to, confront directly. His opening choice have been all solid as such. So,
That is true. The question was ki
Oh.
instead of knight f3,
Satvik Acharya asking, did anyone has reached Armageddon until now? Guys, every round there is at least one game that reaches the Armageddon.
Yeah.
Today also, from 19 games, definitely one will reach.
100%. One question was f4. Aryan Phillips says f4 looked very interesting instead of knight f3.
See, I'll tell you the reason why f4 is not good. Mainly because now you have, the e3 pawn becomes weak. You cannot push your d pawn. So I play c5. Now c5. Knight goes to f3. And now there is an interesting move here. Let's try to ask the chat if they can find it. Guys, what should black play in this position? Also, guys, we have a very small aim today to reach 710k, which is just 317 subscribers away. So please do subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and let us reach this step by step. We started off the World Cup with around close to 702 or 3k, yes, and now we are closing in on 710. So yeah, so the moves are coming in right now, and absolutely right. Wow, so very. Amruta, look at this. The chat is really killing it. They have found the right move here, and the move is d4. Shiv Shom.
Mithun Anand, Olivia Datta, a guy of never gave up on his dreams. Luka Ristic, Paras Bhuir, Hassan Adnan, Preeti, Aditya Bhargav, and Ankit Sahu.
Well done, guys. Beautiful answer by all of you. I'm very, very happy. You can just give up your pawn, and after e takes d4. Well, you might say, but hey, the pawn is being lost, but it's not so important because I can take your f4 pawn, and after this, after knight c5, you can see in full beauty how black's position is so well coordinated and how white's position is a complete disarray. There is knight d3 coming in. There are knights jumping to e4. The bishop is open. So f4 is looks good, but you are playing on the side of the board, and the center is very important.
And also rook f1, rook e1 doesn't make sense at all. If you wanted to play f4, it could have planned
Correct.
it.
Very rightly pointed out. So rook would have been much better here. So knight f3 and knight e5 has been played. The
best tiebreak game I think is between Singaporean player Tan versus Garev.
Okay.
We will check that.
Tang, who?
Tan.
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 Tin, not Tan. Tin Jingyao versus Timur Garev. Yes.
Timur Garev.
There's also some very interesting, this one, the one who wins here, Delgado Ramirez and Niaz Murshid, will face Adiban. And here it seems as if to me that white is clearly the one for choice, because and Niaz Murshid is a very aggressive player. He did beat his opponent yesterday, so that is an interesting achievement.
Yeah, this looks like it will get complicated right now. Hard to predict, but you are right that white is better there.
We have Mwali Chitumbo, who's 2-8-1, Amruta, and he has managed to take Haik Martirosyan, one of the biggest talents in the world of chess in Armenia, to
Wow.
the tiebreak, which is very good. I mean, a
Exactly.
2200 player taking a 2600 player to tiebreak is not easy. There is also two Egyptians playing each other, Adli Ahmad versus Hisham Abdel Rahman. So another interesting tiebreak match. I would say there is one more interesting one, Amruta, which is Murzin, who is playing black against Viorel Iordachescu. You know, Murzin is this young Russian boy who is around 13 years old, and he is playing against the experienced Moldovan GM. So that is one. And I think lastly, Savchenko versus Afanasiev, whoever wins here, plays against Anish Giri. So that is also an interesting one. I think Savchenko is the favorite. But I mean, his rating is 2553, but he was 2600 plus before.
But there is also Ravi Haria, right?
Yeah, Ravi Haria is from England, and he caused the biggest upset of
Yeah.
the round.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he caused the biggest upset of first round on first game by beating Vadim Zwagintsev. By the way, guys, you should know that e4, c5, knight a3 is one of Zwagintsev's innovation. He's a very creative player, and it's called the Zwagintsev variation. So, Ravi Haria is right now playing against Vadim, and well, the position is around equal, maybe slightly better for black. And
Once,
lastly,
Shivananda had played knight a3 first move.
Yes, yes.
And then tried to convert into similar to something.
and you won.
Yeah. You remember?
I am sure. Yes, in Chennai, I believe. Or Chennai, he played f4. Yes, I think he played f4.
I don't remember where he played knight a3.
By the way, another important game is between two players from two chess countries who have many good players. But these two are like the OGs of their countries, very strong. One is Ghayam Maghami. So right now, you know, Iran had, now I have to use had, earlier I would say has, Ali Reza Firuza. Now they have Param Maksudlu. There is Amin Tabatabai, all these top players. But the first player who became very popular in Iran was Ghayam Maghami. And he is playing with the black pieces against Megaranto Susanto from Indonesia, who is the top rated Indonesian grandmaster. Okay, coming back to Gukesh's game, Amruta.
What's up?
Right now, after knight to f3, Gukesh went knight e5, logical move, and Teclaf could have taken, and maybe gone d4 or now f4. Could
The
make
only thing,
sense.
Sagar, about knight e5, the first thing which comes to the mind is white is having less space, okay? And do you want to exchange the pieces there? That's like you can delay.
Yeah, but I think also, Amruta, it's important that you play something logical, and I cannot say knight e5 is the best move or something. It's just a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility. And after d3, I would say white is kind of going into this, structure, Sicilian-like structure from black.
I don't know what is Teclaf's plan, but I get a feeling that he wants to play a waiting game. He wants to let Gukesh call the shots here, and he wants to wait because d3, e3, rook e1, all these moves are tending towards taking a position where you don't want to commit.
Correct. Exactly.
And maybe he studied Gukesh's games before the tournament and came to a conclusion that this might be the best way to face him. So let's see, but Gukesh has played Queen e7. Perhaps this is just his style of play. We have a super chat right now by Alan Bihar who says suggestions for free chess database. I think that there is database.chessbase.com if you go to this website. And also, I mean, there you can find very high quality database. You just have to log in and use it. If you are a premium member, you'll get some additional features. If you are a free member, you can still use that. Okay.
Nikhil Chayal asks, is it worth going out of India for to play amateur tournaments? If yes, please can you guide me, Sagar sir? I'm very ambitious about it.
So I had a friend, and he's still my friend, and he used to always take part in world amateur tournaments. And he used to tell me, by the way, G3 has been played by Teclaf.
Oh, go
And he
H5.
wants to play. This is an aggressive player talking here. The moment she sees a hook, she's like, let's attack. Amruta, do you also try to do that? Like when I say something, you're like, oh, Sagar has said
got
G3.
got
let
him.
me go H5, H4.
Yeah. And
By the way, there is an idea also to go knight G4 with the point of taking and E3 being weak. But knight G4, bishop,
Bishop
F1,
F1.
and the rook starts to get a little useful on
also
E1.
then maybe bishop G2 and white can try for a E4 break if
Yeah.
possible. That could be another idea.
All those who are talking about Anand Kramnik, guys, it is at 7:30 p.m. And also, I was saying something.
Yeah, you had a friend.
Yeah, I had a friend who
You
who
have a
always
friend.
he always wanted to play at the World Amateur tournaments, and he used to say that if he wins that tournament, he would directly get 2200 ELO plus FIDE Master title or something like that. And I would always tell him that play normal events and you will anyway reach there. And he was like, no, I need to win that and I need to do it. So every year he would plan it and he would try to play it. In the end, he couldn't break through, that mark, and it left a lot of heartburn for him in every tournament because he used to focus on only that one event all the time and prepare for it and then go there, and then he would be 5 out of 5 or sometimes 5 out of 6, and then he would lose a game, and then that depression and all. So my suggestion in general is work on improving your chess, not for any specific tournament. Just work on it generally, get strong, choose events which are decent wherever, and play strong opponents. You will improve faster.
In fact, if you play in India, you'll get tougher opposition, but that actually makes you stronger. And then later, when you go out and play, it's much easier. So this is the perfect way. I don't think as an amateur you should. I mean, if you then it depends on other facets. You like traveling and all of that also is accompanied with it. Then it's different.
Yeah. By the way, this game is so difficult for both players to play that every move they are taking 1 minute and so, and both have now come down to 12 minutes on the clock. I get a feeling that this might end in a draw. What do you think, Amruta?
No, black will win.
Black will win.
Yes.
Okay, that's what the poll says on our channel.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Oh, and
Shivsom asks, any idea why Kovalev is playing with FIDE flag?
Kovalev.
Must be.
Isn't Kovalev the person at top? No, that was Kovalyov.
That was Kovalev.
Kovalev is different. And we don't know why he's
No
playing.
idea. Okay. But I think, look, he has gone rook d8. Sagar, imagine, exactly these were such free-flowing moves for Gukesh here. And now they're done, So now the only move which is left is c5, which will be a decision later whether you want to go for it or you have any more improving moves. So knight e5, that is one question I had. Do you want to just go back, trying to avoid the exchange here, and later h5 and knight g4 is going to come in? Because white really has less space. So this
But then you shouldn't go knight e5 anyway.
Yeah, that is another question.
So by the way, an interesting move here to take, because he could have even played bishop f1.
Once again, black is better.
This is a blunder, and I would like in the chat people to figure out, because the idea is bishop g2.
Correct.
If he gets that, it would be very nice, but it's a mistake. Why is this a mistake, guys?
Nice
Can you
question.
tell us?
That's a nice question by Sagar. All of you, Jag Jao, sorry.
All those who are coming here and telling me about 1 million of fleet, there are two things that I would request you. I have already addressed it and I'm very happy about it. The second thing is that please guess the move right now. What should black play?
Darius says funny that there is G3 and G6 without a fiancé twist.
Absolutely.
Lots of moves incoming.
Yes, and the right move again, perfectly guessed
By Dominic Derbos Satya, Pulkit Rathi, Savite Chess, Brishti Mukherjee, Varar, Pawn Star, Harsh Upadhyay, Barinder Singh, and Shiv Shom.
yeah.
Awesome,
So,
awesome, awesome.
The move is d4, and see the bishop opens up on this diagonal, and the idea is to take the knight. Now, if you take knight d4 in this position, Amruta, then the move is c5, and next move the knight moves. I'm giving knight f3 check and taking the rook with a check to your king.
Then I must admit I have missed it because what I thought was knight takes f3, queen takes f3, and then d4.
But then I
And
have
then
queen
knight
d7. The bishop is unprotected.
Oh no! Oh no!
And another idea is to play ed, but now I have knight f3 check, and you cannot win the queen because you have a check.
And if queen f3, you have bishop f3, rook e7, rook e7.
Yeah, I'll be a rook up.
Not rook up actually. Rook up.
And here, I mean, if you do any other move, then the knight is hanging. So this was an important move. He took on e5, bishop e5, and now played his bishop to f3. So Teclaf goes the other route to g2. He doesn't go from here. He goes from the other side. And now he has some pressure on d5, but although the pawn is very well guarded with all our pieces, it's difficult. Like, let me think what I would do here with black. If I was playing with black pieces in such a position, I would definitely not go c5 because I know that d4 is a big problem.
Yeah.
cd, ed, and the bishop is pinned.
You have been rejecting c5, but at the end of it, how do you get hold of the center or get to dynamics, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what you come up with.
I was thinking another move that is possible is h5, which is a very natural move.
And we are also asking the chat, what are the moves that come to your mind in general?
Because this is not a position where there is a tactical thing happening.
But at least let's get a poll where what is the maximum suggestion there.
Akshit says, there is Aditya here says queen e6. Nice idea. You want to maybe go here, but then he'll go bishop g2. So I'm not sure if queen e6 does much. There is also...
No, we have the poll here. No?
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, h5 I feel will happen. Like if you see the poll.
I think there is a war going on between two moves in the chat poll, which we have.
Yeah, you can check it out and get some water.
Yes. Oops. The war is between c5 and b5. But interesting that almost, all suggestions are like the top 6 suggestions are pawn moves here. So over here, if you go to the position, h5 is the suggestion right now, which is definitely, I love this move. Well suggested. The other move suggested, Sagar, is next move is c5 and then b5. b5, okay, directly.
I don't like b5 for one reason.
Yeah,
that
why?
it weakens the c5 square.
Correct. And then later again white gets the option of going d4 and maybe later even.
It's a good question to ask how the c5 square will be used. But I think that's a long-term weakness. I can go d4. I can go knight b1, knight d2, and then try to, knight b3, knight c5. There are many ways.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
also, this is a backward pawn there. So, not naturally.
One of the
but
things
a5 is at least
I
something
don't
to
think
be considered
I don't think
again.
it's humanly possible because you played a6 to stop knight b5. So a5, I don't think so.
So h5, c5. Basically, c5 is another move which you don't like, which is very
d4,
good.
Yeah.
d4
Because
directly,
now
or
you
and if you
can't
go
take.
bishop d6. Yeah, if you take here and then take, and
You
then
lose a
you
piece.
just lose a piece. So there is a pin there.
So
that's why.
if you go bd6,
Yeah, bishop d6.
I don't like knight a4 move now. And the problem is that b6 is weak. You can't
don't like
push
knight
b4.
a4.
I don't like black's position after knight a4. You can't play b5, and then knight c5 is hanging. So you really have to, and
Find a move. Yeah.
even if you take cd, suddenly queen d4, and now the long diagonal is weak on the So you see this knight a4 move is very powerful,
Yeah.
and that's why c5 just is a blunder, I would say.
So h5 would be the best move
But
here
Amruta,
for-
unbelievable move played by Gukesh. Actually, let me see if anyone guessed it in this position on the
Yeah.
on the screen.
Oh no! Right now we had the same. we
No,
didn't
that's
change
fine.
it.
No one was able to guess this move that Gukesh has played, and the move that he
Amazing.
played was knight e4.
I mean, it just looks very good. Also, it was not a move where the bar white for white suddenly went up. I was very happy or something, which means he is ready to create complications here. What a beautiful move. The main thing is, firstly, if d4, the point is it's a blunder because after d4, queen is attacked and ef3 is just
Yeah.
crushing. So you can't do that. And if not, then Gukesh is right now.
Actually, he doesn't have any threat as such, so maybe
Yeah.
a good move for white.
No,
and
maybe there could be certain threats he takes, and then but now Sagar, Rook e1 suddenly becomes very important. It's like such a futuristic move.
Teclaf's moves are like, you know what I tell you, and then you realize after many months.
Oh, this is what you want to compare. Okay, I thought you would say that I tell you,
No, the
and
thing
you
is-
realize after many years.
Yeah, the move Rook e1 now starts becoming useful in overall, and also if you see Queen c2 is a very natural move for white. Just remove the queen from the d file, and now I am threatening to take when the queen will no longer be attacked.
But what about knight g5?
Yes, this is a move that could be risky, but once I go bishop g2, I think you see Amruta, if the rook was on f1, at all points d4 would have been very strong.
Yeah,
But with the
right.
rook here, d4 is just not possible. I just take, and
B7
all of a
is
sudden,
ending.
this is a
Ah,
big
so
problem.
b7 is ending.
Yeah, I mean,
Huh, that is.
so that's the reason why in this position, Teclaf seems to be, he's played Queen c2, which is a very logical move, and maybe now Gukesh has some thinking to do here.
Yeah, exactly.
See, one way, by the way, we had a member.
Yeah, Dinesh Sharma, welcome to the booster of Indian Chess. Thank you so much for becoming the member. All this money goes to Indian Chess.
Yes,
Yeah.
and thank you all. And we have been having many members who have become members in the last 3 days of this World Cup, last 2 days. So thank you all, and we'll soon announce who the July fund will go to. So thank you so much for your support. Knight to c3, suppose, which is very logical. I take, queen takes, and now because the c7 pawn is weak, I want to play the move c5.
And as you know, you have to also explain what happens for d4 here. So one thing I've learned. No,
with
no, no.
black?
With white, no?
D4.
c5.
Ah,
Right now.
but now
Like the
Amruta-
usual reply. Without the knight on c3 here,
Yeah.
what do you, because at the end of it, black is having this light square bishop, and white's bishop is definitely an attacking piece. You have a defender here. As we know, we will say an attacking piece is valued more than a defender here.
Yeah.
So
But Amruta, there are always tricky ways to meet d4. And see, if I play cd, then this is a very nightmarish position for black, because the bishop is worse, the white bishop attacks, there is an open file for the rook. I mean, this I would
Exactly.
never want to go to. But here there is a very interesting move which I can play, which is queen to f6.
bishop g2, let's say I save my bishop.
Yeah, you try to save your bishop here, and now I can play cd,
Queen
d4, queen d4, ed4, rook e1, and you will see that now my position is not so bad because the d4 pawn shields the d5 weakness. So here it would be roundabout even. Yes, you can argue that white is slightly better because his bishop is attacking, my bishop is defending, but you don't have another weakness. So I feel that after this position queen c2, the best idea for Gukesh is to just take and play c5, when he'll have equal chances.
Yeah.
He might not be
I
worse.
mean, that time he has to be a little more careful while defending. But Sagar, one factor which is very important, that Gukesh is now down to 4 minutes, whereas Pavel still has almost 10 minutes. And when you're in a defending position, maybe with less time, it always becomes difficult. So
Yeah.
also it's a decision, right? For Gukesh, he would love to maybe retain the pieces. It's another possibility.
Yeah, but what?
Because 90, why would he go 94 there?
To simplify.
To simplify only, that was
To
it.
simplify. By the way,
Interesting.
Lalita has said that there is a piece sacrifice that is happening in this, but I'm not sure how. In Boris Savchenko versus DE5. Yeah, but white looks tremendously better, and I think after F4 and E5, I think Anish has to start thinking about his next round opponent, which is Boris Savchenko. Meanwhile, we still haven't had a result here. Oh, we have had one. Marty Rosian beat Chitumbu Moali. And we also see that in Delgado Ramirez versus Niaz Murshid, the position is equal. Amruta, Niaz Murshid is not going down
Very
easily.
solid,
He's
very
trying to
solid.
fight tooth and nail.
And his rating does not do justice, 2400.
Yeah, he's, I would say,
definitely one of the
I would
very
say,
strong grandmasters.
if he's motivated enough, he is much stronger than his rating. And right now he is. But when he's not motivated, he plays like this. So coming back to Gukesh's game, we have a new member.
1 second. Meenu Krishnan, thank you for becoming the booster of Indian
Thank you, Meenu
chess.
Krishnan.
Dinesh Sharma, who just became a member, says, I have a CA final exam tomorrow, but still watching your stream.
Yeah, just make sure that, go to the tour. It's like going to an exam is like going to a tournament. You should be confident. Many times you are nervous and you spend first few minutes trying to gather your mind. So my recommendation is just be confident there and give your best. But we also had another member, Meet Monpara. Thank you so much for becoming backer of Indian chess.
And Rishay Raj says, best wishes to Indian squad.
Yeah, we've been making these highlight videos recently, and it's thanks to Abhyudaya, who has been doing a phenomenal job, who is our editor, and we've been working together. I do the recording, and then he puts in all together with the music and edits and all. And I think these are very useful to the people.
Yeah.
They are watching them and trying to get, because many of
Because
them,
too many Indians, also too many opponents, very complicated. It's not just, it's clearly one round, there are
Yeah.
2 rounds. So how do you like them, guys? How do you
yeah,
like
tell us if there are any suggestions you have for them. Meanwhile, as Amruta had rightly pointed out, Alexander Fear, who was looking better, and Amruta said, no, it's still very complicated, the position has shifted a bit.
Yeah.
Pekchak looks now in a nice position with good attacking chances. Look at this bishop knight. I would now say that black's position looks
Exactly.
almost winning,
Yeah.
although you have to play more like BG1 and all. I think it's humanly very difficult
Correct.
to defend.
Because one thing which usually we saw, black started attacking, he was aggressive. And what the Indians will not understand is the word fear. Fear.
Right.
And the fear makes you make mistakes. That's what happens.
Keith says they are great. Succinct end of the day update on all results was what I was looking for. Arey, wonderful, Keith. Great to know that you enjoy them. Lazy Superstar says, welcome, Lazy Superstar. Thank you for becoming
The member of
supporter of Indian chess, and a nice name there, Lazy Superstar. By the way, Amruta, I'm a
Gukesh's
bit
time.
worried. Gukesh's time is low. He's down to 1 minute on the clock, but also his last move, Queen F6, didn't look so great.
why
Now,
if bishop e5?
firstly, if bishop e5, his plan is to
Queen
take on
F3.
f3, because if you take on e5, you're just losing a pawn just like that.
Right.
So he wants to take here, and all of a sudden the game is heating up now. His threat could be d4, but remember, this mating idea can always be met with e4. So that is not really a threat. And if I now take bishop takes c7, then actually after rook c8,
Yeah, exactly.
you are not winning a piece. I can
Queen.
just go queen e2, and already Amruta, Gukesh is clearly a pawn down. He's losing the b6 pawn. So his move queen f6 is a tactical blunder. And now,
But one more question. Let's say it's a mistake, okay? So if bishop takes c5, oh, that has happened. Queen f3 has happened in the game.
yes, Teclaf takes his chance, and Teclaf, who has been playing quite slowly, trying to take very measured decisions,
Yeah.
now is ready. And by the way, he didn't take with the bishop, he's taken with the queen here. And guys, this is
a
a big
blunder.
blunder.
Oh
And Amruta,
my
try to figure
God.
out why is this a mistake.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, try to figure out what should with Gukesh play.
Oh my god, I
Gukesh,
think he missed that. I got it. Wow.
you have only
This
1
is
minute 43
brilliant.
seconds on the clock. Please find the move. Please find the move.
Not
What should
43.
Gukesh
Gukesh
play?
will make it in 5 seconds now.
But what happens? Did you?
No, you go bishop c.
अरे क्या बोल रहे हो?
That's not the move, Sagar.
No, that is the move. Come on.
Really?
Yes.
So I got something wrong. फिर मैंने तो bishop c8 सोचा था, okay.
अच्छा, you want to play bishop to c8.
I thought so.
Oh,
D4.
Gukesh goes
No,
d4.
no, that is good.
And
That
by
is
the way,
good.
the right move's answer has been given by Gauransh,
Savita Gaming, Aditya Kaustubh, Vedant Tejas, Pawn, Koel, Olivia. Come on, get
Yeah.
back there.
So,
And
Amruta, the
tell
thing
me
is,
something. E4 आएगा अभी right now. What's the plan?
And
Now bishop,
now bishop c8. But what's the difference
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
go
yeah.
directly?
Good question.
If I go here, bishop c8, like Amruta wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
then the move is g4.
कैसे क्या? Bishop g4.
Yeah, and now if bishop takes g4, then I have bishop d4, and
And
I'm going here.
अरे बाप रे, such a tough defense.
Oh, did Gukesh see?
Defense.
Did Gukesh see this
He
actually?
must have.
Because
He must
if
have.
e4 now, which he should play, now bishop c8. Now if you go g4, I can just take, and now
And
your
bishop
bishop
cannot go to another diagonal. What do we call it? Do we call it hilariously witty, or you know what?
Oh.
This is.
But
superb.
Amruta, I think with just 1 minute on the clock, it was very likely that Gukesh could have played bishop c8, and then Teclaf could have played g4. Just to show you guys once more, g4, bishop takes g4. Notice that idea of bishop c8 in this position is to go bishop h3 and checkmate. So you go g4, bishop g4, now bd4, important move. And once you reach here, the queen swings back and defends the mate.
Yeah.
So when Gukesh went d4, e4, bishop c8, and now, by the way, this is the position.
This is not happened.
This is
D4
not
is a-
happened. Now the thing is, you go g4, bishop g4. There is no way that the bishop can move anywhere on this diagonal to let the queen come to g3.
This is exceptionally brilliant, Sagar. This kind of a pattern which we are seeing here. What I would say, I have a feeling that Gukesh, who took a lot of time at this move, okay, when he played queen, this bishop e5 94 business, I think at that time he might have seen such an idea. As we know about him, he is very creative.
Yeah, I know.
The question would be that you had to assess that if white also plays bishop takes c7 and gets better. But was queen c7 more of falling for the prank? You can say there.
Maybe, but I think Amruta, even bishop c8 move. By the way, this is the live position. Teclaf is now thinking. He has 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Gukesh has 19 seconds.
Just think about it this way. Even if you play directly bishop c8
Right.
here instead of d4,
Right.
if you had gone direct bishop c8, even that position to play g4 takes bd4 with the idea of queen g3 is giving black equality.
Correct.
So taking queen c7 has no upsides. In fact, it was a very bad move by Teclaf. I don't know what happened to him. He just
No, but
blanked
bishop
out.
c8 is definitely possible to miss Sagar, because all that, like, it is just coming out of nowhere right now. Why, especially you can see the psychological block that the bishop is here. d4 is a natural move he will consider, which will happen. e4 also he will consider. Okay, but at that, then bishop c8, no, it's not natural. It was never happening until now.
Yeah, that is true. That
The
is true.
other
Bishop c8 is a move that can be missed in the
Correct.
position. But right now, guys, the move e4 has been played and Gukesh has gone bishop c8. And I think it's time for Teclaf to resign. And
Yeah.
Gukesh made it with no time. Like, he took 1 second on the clock and he's now threatening this. And remember, this is a great example for opposite color bishop. See, if white was just one move ahead, he could have gone queen f6 and mated him here, trying to mate, use the dark squares, but it's black who's reaching here first and mating. We have yeah, Sunu Gamers, we will make a Reddit page soon and try to upload it on clips. That is a good idea. Thank you for that. We'll try to do that.
Wow. Sir, but one more, because of this kind of ideas which were happening, these kind of ideas, what I am thinking, that the bishop c7, okay, for white, was allowing the queen from c2 to e2 very quickly. Okay. So, black could have still retained his queen.
That's what I'm saying. That you can argue with me that bishop c7 is a difficult move because rook c8 pins here. But the next move instantly you can.
That is difficult. I'm saying here maybe the assessment that you don't take, like, white is so much better.
Yeah.
Might not be true.
Yeah.
There can be some tricks.
I'll go ahead.
Okay. So bishop c8, can't the king run? No, right now if king f1 would simply have bishop h3 check and king g1. सागर अपना है. Rook e3 for defense, but then he loses the rook just like that. So I mean, one move at the most. Resign, please. No, he has 2 minutes 30 seconds. I think he'll use all the time because it would be a big blow right now. Bishop c8 when you have not considered, and suddenly in such a crucial round this happens. Also, you start thinking about, oh my god, why did I? Oh, this, what happened?
Charging. Oh, some moves have been played. He went g4, bishop takes g4. Bishop d4, as we said, you want to go back to g3. And now bishop h3, queen g3. Gukesh says, thank you for the queen trade. Thank you for the piece. I am now piece up and all ready to win my game with black. Then I'll have the white pieces. I'll need only half a point, and that will be very, very easy. The Zomato ka nahi tha. The order came from Swiggy, and as usual I have no idea about the order, so I told the guy that really order hamare liye, and then Amruta shouted for अरे अपना ही है करके. So that's what happened. Okay, rook e d8 and d3 is hanging in this position. Teclaf comes here. The point is that this is not even a difficult technical position because you are just one pawn down. White has 6 pawns, black has 5, and you have an extra bishop. Takes on d3. All those who are asking how is Gukesh's time increasing, well, there is a 10-second increment per move. So every move you make, your 10 seconds keep growing. And of course, if you take 10 seconds, then you get no increment because you thought for that time. But if you get an increment, but your time doesn't grow. So if you make your decisions within 10 seconds, you will be able to move quick. You will be able to gain time. We have a super chat from Venkatesh S. Let's go Gukesh. Sagar bhai, how is your health now? My health is much better. I should be better by tomorrow for round 2, and today I took some rest and it's much better. So thank you for asking.
Yeah, and all those who are asking, Zomato ka ya Swiggy ka order aaya hai?
Amruta, I actually like the move bishop g4 to f3 plans.
Oh, yahan tak aa gaya. Okay, he's a piece.
But bishop f1 saving this pawn is also very solid. And I think Teclaf will not resign here because so much depends upon this one game. You know, you come all the way from Poland to Sochi, you prepared a lot, you want to play, you want to win, and then you suddenly blunder a piece. It's not a pleasant feeling, guys.
Yeah.
It is very, very disheartening, but at the same time it is a part of the game, and Gukesh right now is just mopping up things. This is attack. Yes, you can go king g1, attack the bishop. I think then Gukesh will go bd3 or maybe bishop e2 looks safe, attacking g4. a2 is still under pressure. You can bank on Gukesh to convert this. I mean, you don't need to doubt it. And yeah, Joy Datta says another day in paradise. Absolutely. And sorry for that. I must tell you guys that for every day you stay in that place, you have your hotel charges, you have your food charges. These are not reimbursed by the organizers because they are giving you the prize money. So you have to pay
right.
for your accommodation, which could be around $100 to $200 a day, and then you have to pay for your food. So even if you lose, you really don't want to be staying there for many days because you will be losing out on some money. So many people, the moment they lose, they just go back, they book a flight and leave that night or the next day. But Amruta, I think if Gukesh wins this game, he should have a huge advantage in this match, because then with white he only needs
that's
a
what I was thinking, that with black, if he wins, that is going to be much different.
yeah.
Very nice. D Sandeep says Teclaf को अभी और तकलीफ लेनी बाकी है.
Yeah. Bishop b5. Okay, now the thing is, this bishop cannot be moved. So क्या था, जब the bishop was coming to b5, the pawn could dislocate it with a4. But when you already now have removed the a2 pawn, the bishop can simply sit here with the a6 pawn and just defend each other. This looks completely gone. For the World Cup, players get flight ticket in India. Yes, this time. Every time you have to do your own, but I think in this event, by the way, very cool move by Gukesh, stopping f5. There is only one idea that white has, is to take and play f6 and try for a back rank mate. But Gukesh with his move rook e2 has stopped f5 because e5 pawn would be hanging.
This is like very clear technically.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry with, even with less time. Venkatesh is super chats and says 710k and Sagar Bhai will sing a song.
No. No.
Today his voice is good.
Also Venkatesh, don't sell me out so cheaply. Yes, like right now it's just 190 subscribers left and you're asking me to sing. If you guys make me a good offer, then maybe I can think of it.
Maybe we can see Sagar is.
By the way, Amruta, now rook e5 is hanging, and now if you play f6, then I have rook e8. So that would be
Over.
Yeah.
Also, like, will this game affect Pavel for the next game? Because this is rapid format.
It will affect him in the way that he will play
have
for
to
a
play
win.
like desperate.
Yeah, he will stop playing this careful chess, and he will try to play a little more aggressively in the next round. By the way, meanwhile, while we are discussing these games, you can just get an idea of how closely fought these tie breaks are, with only 4 games out of 19 having been completed. And Bobby Cheng of Australia has beaten Sanal Wahab. We also have, very quickly we'll check, Pekchak versus Fear. Fear has somehow managed to hold this position after, his position looked bad at some point, but it seems like it's going to end in a draw. So this is one game which is important because the winner of this will meet with it. And there's also another game which is important for Indian, is this one. Delgado Ramirez versus Niaz Murshid, and the winner will meet Adiban here. So that's the thing. And also, let me quickly go to Gukesh Teclaf.
Oh, he did get his pawn on f6 finally, but rook e6 right now, bishop e8 is there, king g5, then h6.
Yeah, if rook b8, there is bishop
Yeah.
e8.
And now for king
G5 has to be
h6.
played. But then h6. Or I can go rook e5 check and then rook b5. And if you exchange, then I am up. And otherwise, I'll win the beat.
Right. So Gukesh is winning. What is he saying? 12k votes, but 2k.
Joy Datta says 12k votes made on the vote, like this poll. We have around 12,000 votes. But guys, you haven't liked the stream, so please do like it so that we can move closer to 5k likes today. It's going to be a short stream if Gukesh wins there, but I think we will be in time to watch the opening of no castling chess as well between Kramnik and Anand, because the next match will go beyond 7:30 p.m.
Nice.
So that's why we will be able to see the no castling chess. And also please do subscribe right now so that we can reach 710k. I think that is a very, very logical aim.
We had some
Super chats.
members, but
And NSN creator says fleet 1 million subs. Yes, NSN, we know about it and we did talk about it. Very big
Yes.
congratulations to him. Ash says congrats Chessbase India on 700k. Also, how different is rapid and classical? These top guys always make good moves in both format, it seems. Ash, you can see that what blunder right now Teclaf made, I think he wouldn't have made it in classical format. So although you feel that it's almost the same at critical moments, the fact that you have 10 minutes in hand, or you have just 8 minutes, or you have 50 minutes in hand makes a difference, So classical, of course, they make less errors there.
king d6, rook c6, no, rook b5, right? That's what you
Yeah, rook
suggest. With
b5,
that,
then
rook
rook
b6 check.
a8.
Rook b6 check, then he will have to go king e5, and then you go h5.
Or maybe I just go a5 and wait. I mean, then I start pushing this pawn.
e5.
Yeah, he
Even
resigned.
rook f5.
He resigned. right
Wow,
now.
Gukesh
Guys, go.
wins this first rapid game with black pieces and with an amazingly brilliant tactical idea.
Yeah, we are going to talk about this idea that Gukesh executed. It was very, very interesting, and I think worth checking out again for all the people who have joined in. The critical moment of the game was here when everything looked equal. We thought he will take on c3, queen c3 and play c5, but Gukesh made a mistake with queen f6. But it turned out into a happy mistake because his opponent took queen takes. Of course, notice that you can't take on e5 because you just lose a pawn just like that. So queen e5, and now, as we said, bishop takes c7 would have given white a great position. Notice that d4, which looks very dangerous to checkmate on g2, is met with e4,
And
closing the
bishop
diagonal.
c8 here would have met with
Queen e2, you can't take the rook just as yet because bishop h3 and it's a forced mate here. But I play queen e2 first and you have to exchange the queens, otherwise you will lose the rook, and I'm a pawn up. I'm totally winning. So that's the reason why here bishop c7 was good. Even a move like rook c8 pinning the bishop is met with queen e2, and Gukesh is just worse, clearly worse. Amruta is.
No, I don't think clearly worse, Sagar. I will definitely argue this position with opposite colored bishop, and no.
You have to exchange, right?
I have to exchange. Why?
Otherwise, you may lose another
Queen
pawn.
f6? No, I was considering queen f6.
Yeah, possible. But then you are a pawn down and...
Okay. And if I exchange and go a5?
Yeah, it's a worse position.
It's a clearly worse. Yeah,
I mean, okay, we can argue between clearly and worse, but it's not a position you would like to go to after you are
100%.
equal.
100%.
But the point is, Teclaf took on c7, attacking the bishop here, And then after d4, Amruta, this is the key move of Gukesh.
Absolutely.
If he saw all these lines, then you can notice he had 1 minute 12 seconds here, and he had already thought about it that if he goes bishop c8 with the idea of mating here, it does not work because of g4. Bishop takes g4. Notice that if you take with the queen, I can simply drop back my bishop. So bishop g4 threatening bishop h3 and mate. I have bd4, very solid move. And after bishop h3, there is queen g3 and white is completely fine. So what Gukesh did here, and I think this can get into some very good books, Amruta, this
Yeah,
position.
exactly. I
That
agree.
after, d4 here, he after queen c7, he pushed the pawn to d4, provoking e4, and then went bishop c8. And the point was that now after g4, bishop takes g4. There is no square that the bishop can move to on this diagonal, which will help the queen come back. And he anyway took, but at this point, he lost a piece.
Brilliant, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
just
good. So
tremendous what has happened. And on that note, Arjun Singh Bhatti, thank you so much for becoming backer of Indian chess. And we have really a great victory. This would mean that Amruta, maybe 12 out of 12 Indians would make it to the next round.
12 out of 12.
Yeah.
Because three are already in that.
No,
way.
I mean 11 are already through, and Gukesh is the only one who's fighting right now. So if he wins it, then we will have all the Indian players in the second round, which will be a huge thing.
Yes, Gukesh, OP, Super Chats, Joy Datta, amazing stream as always. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Joy.
Joy.
Sagar, and all those who are asking, क्या मंगाया है? First of all, there were all jokes happening. When I said Sagar अपना है, they were like Sagar तो अपना ही है. Then they somewhere like Sagar तो समय का है. But you were not here, by the way. But we have ordered a fruit today.
Which one?
Chiku.
Chiku. Oh,
Do you like chiku?
yeah, Chiku I like.
Okay.
But Chiku depends a lot on the quality of Chiku.
That
You
I
know,
know. So do you know
the-
Swiggy
the
has
point
okay,
is-
this is a free branding, but anyway, Swiggy has introduced Instamart. And कल चाय के लिए दूध नहीं था, तो तुम चाय बनाओगे ना? Right. What's the point? Okay, completely abrupt. सिर्फ लोगों को लगा स्विगी से कुछ मस्त मंगाया है क्या, पिज्जा एंड ऑल दैट. I just clarified. No.
Okay. So some results I want to just mention. Mwali Chitumbo lost to Haik. Hesham versus Adli is still going on, and Hesham is
Oh,
actually
is it FNH pawn?
It is
Is
a
it a
draw.
theoretical draw? Or king on f8, no?
This
Maybe.
may not even reach that point, Amruta, because if you take here, I go rook f7, then you come here, I'll give you a check. So I think you cannot even reach
right.
that f and h pawn stable in a stable
Correct.
manner. So this should be a draw. And Abdi Jabbar Azil from Kazakhstan has lost his game to Benjamin Bok here. Benjamin Bok is a GM from the Netherlands, very good friend of Anish Giri and many other Dutch players, and he managed to trap the rook in a beautiful way using all three of his minor pieces. This is so beautiful. Look at this, guys. Rook a8, bishop controls, rook c8, knight controls, rook d8, bishop controls, rook b7, bishop is there, rook b6, bishop is there, rook e8, knight is there, rook f8, king also is there. So basically it's such a team effort. This rook, it's like it reminds me of this Gulliver's Travels picture where this huge Gulliver is kind of trapped by all these Lilliputs, and there are like hundreds of them who have tied him up, and this is what these minor pieces have done to the rook. Meanwhile, Delgado, Ramirez and Niaz Murshid have drawn their game, which means that Adiban is still in the dark as to who his next round opponent will be. It's also a good time, you can relax and you can take it easy because you don't know whom to prepare against, but you also feel a little bit stressed because your game is under 24 hours next and you would like to prepare. But energy is really important, and Adiban would be chilling right now while his next round opponent is playing the tiebreak. We have also Varuzan Kobian beating Valderrama Kuchenko Esteban. I do not know this player, so someone new here. First time I'm hearing his name. We also have Al Qudami Bashir losing to Tabatabai Amin. Amin Tabatabai, as we have said, from Iran, is
Yeah.
a very talented player. Ravi Haria Amruta did beat
Oh my
Vadim
God.
Zwagintsev.
Wow,
That's a
what a
big
big
result.
upset. Exactly. You know, he had come to I think
World
Delhi,
Juniors.
World Junior Delhi. And
Yeah, and he managed to beat him like very smoothly, just positionally crushed him. Wow, brought his king up. Guys, knight is the best blockader of a passed pawn. See, the passed pawn is here. Knight is blockading it, but also attacking the pawn. That's why knights are really cool. Oh, loved this technique by Ravi. So great win for him. Timur Garev has beaten,
no.
yes,
Acha, Timur has
Tin
beaten
Jingyao. Fauzi Adam has lost to Alexiev. Fauzi has played in some of Chessbase India's Blitz events, and Alexiev is a strong GM from Russia. We have Gretarson Horjwarstein, who has beaten Kirill Stupak. I'm very surprised with Kirill Stupak's rating falling down to 2485. He was almost 2550 plus Amruta at some point. I don't know, like 2 years ago. We have Gabusian Hovanis beating Belanche Bilal. If you remember, we had our friend Avetic Grigorian who came on stream and said about Hovanis Gabusian that he is close to 2700 level when he plays well. So it's good to see that he won his game.
Right.
We have Murzin, the 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy from Russia, holding against Viorel
With black, so
Iardachescu.
that's good.
Gukesh beating Pavel Teclaf, a big result for India. With it still in dark as to whose next round opponent will be, because Pekchak and Fier have drawn. We have Gonzalez versus Mkhitaryan, which ended in a draw. Krikor Mkhitaryan is a well-known streamer as well. Nikolaev Momchil drew with Perez Ponza. Savchenko Boris beat Afanasiev Nikita, which means that Anish can slowly start preparing against Boris Savchenko. I think it's going to be a great match because Boris Savchenko is a very good player, Amruta. His blitz rating is very good. He's strong. He's not 25-40. I mean 25-50.
Even in last World Blitz where we went and he played with Magnus.
He was right there at the top. I don't think he's like really lost a few points. He was 2600 plus at some point.
Yeah.
And Bobby Cheng beating Sanal Wahab is a good news for the Australian fans. And Megaranto Susato and Kayam Magami drew. So those were the results.
And what time does the next round start? Maybe immediately or they get some break? No.
There is some break, Amruta. I think the next round should begin in 10 to 15 minutes from now. They wouldn't give long break because they have to then
Right.
do
Because
other-
6 games are also a lot.
Yeah, we have some more super chats that I have to read. Swapnil Paul, thank you for your super chat. Sam Roberts says attendance. Thank you, Sam. Low mood. You don't bring any stress in my life. Only good vibes. Thank you. Well, Sam, if you are in a low mood, just try to, cheer up.
How?
Well, Gukesh won. That's a good enough reason. And also, I think overall.
Everybody will have some techniques, right? Their own techniques when they are in low mood.
Yeah.
What does
I think switching your environment can be a very good idea. For example, it's the most practical way of doing it. If you are in low mood and you have had a fight
maybe
with someone, or
going out,
yes,
jogging,
exactly,
running,
just change your
exercising.
environment.
That's a
Just
change
go
in
out, and within some time you will calm down a bit. There was this study that if your mood is low, it means that there are certain reactions that are happening in your body, which is making you do that, right? So when you react to something else as well, it will be bad. So it's better to first bring it down normal. So when let's say two people have an increased heart rate and then they meet each other, chances of them indulging in a fight are higher than if they are normal. So it's better if you quickly come out of it. Easier said than done, but well, we should try. We should try. All of us should try.
Music doesn't help low mood.
Yes,
Maybe
of course, very much.
Uh-huh.
By the way, I have some pictures to show to everyone here in the chat. Just so that you know, guys, that tomorrow, these are the matches. Let's see. Let's talk to people here. So, guys, what are your thoughts on Hari Krishna taking on Yasser Kuseda? Yasser Kuseda, what do you think? This one is going to be a very exciting match, Amruta, because Kuseda Yasser has a brother. His name is Yuniski Kuseda Perez. This guy's name is Yasser.
I think he'll get an award for remembering all the names of all the, foreign countries.
People are saying Hari win. Okay, Hari will win for sure. Okay, shall we do a small poll, guys? Amruta.
So what happens about Gukesh's poll? That disappears, or
No,
that gets replaced, or that
we'll
stays?
keep. We'll keep that poll.
Wow, you can make another poll. Then
Not
of course
this.
I want to
Not
make.
this. We'll use our chat chess boost for it.
Okay.
Keith to the rescue. Guys, E4 for Hari Krishna and E5 for Kuseda Yasser. Well, also, I mean, it's very interesting to do this. Yeah. E4, if Hari Krishna wins straight off, right? Straight in 2 games, classical. D4, if Hari Krishna wins in tiebreaks. E5, if Yasser wins in classical. D5, if Yasser wins in tiebreaks. Okay, let's do that. That would be nice to do. Let's see. So, we will do that for all the players. Everyone thinks E4. Yes. I personally think that Hari Krishna might be stretched into the tie break. Also, Hari Krishna often is a slow starter, in such events. But then he picks up pace. So we'll see. Okay, but a huge number of people think he'll win directly. There's no need for even tie breaks. 380 people out of 468. That's like 80%. Okay, let's go now to the next player who will be playing tomorrow, so that you know what's going to happen. We have Arvind Chidambaram versus Abdu Sataro. Oof. This one is going to be very tricky. E4 if Arvind wins directly in 2 classical games. D4 if tie break. E5 if you think Nadirbek wins. D5 if you think Nadirbek wins in tie break. And guys, remember, Nadirbek is one of the most talented youngsters in the world of chess. He was playing in this Polgar challenge. He was playing in this Gelfand challenge. He is very good. And remember, he was beating everyone. He was playing at the top. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a very tough match. Look at their ratings also. 2-6-4-1 versus 2-6-3-4. Matlab, kitna close hai ye match. Let's see. But if your sentiments show that, oh nice, D4, you think the Arvind will win in tie breaks. Very interesting that you all feel that he will win. And look at the number of people here. 182 out of 305. That's nearly 60% of you think that he'll win in tie breaks. Although there is good support for even Nadirbek to win in tie breaks. 28 people, around 10% of you think that Nadirbek will win in tie breaks. Very interesting. Okay, time to move to the next one here. And this one is an very exciting one, guys. It is Nihal Sarin taking on Sanan Sujirov. Same stuff. E4 for white. E4 for Nihal winning directly. D4 for winning in tie breaks. E5 if Sanan wins directly in classical games. D5 if he wins in tie breaks. And look at this. Sanan is 2-6-6-1. And remember, Sanan Sujirov was a very big child prodigy. He has not, shaped up his chess career to the best way that he would have liked, but still he's very strong grandmaster. He's 2661. Nihal is 2620, but his live rating is around 2655. So let's see what you think, guys. Will it go into the tie breaks, or you think a direct win for Nihal, or do you think direct win for Sujiro? Ooh. Chat is very, very bullish about Nihal, yeah? Very, very. You guys think Nihal will win? 268 of you think that he'll win directly. That's nearly 70% of you think Nihal will win directly, and also a lot of you think he'll win in the tie breaks, but very few of you think that Sanan Sujiro has his chances. Okay, interesting. Now I'm reaching to the next one, but I'm really excited for this one. Tough one coming up, guys. It is our little prodigious Pragnananda who will take on the experienced Armenian giant Gabriel Sargsyan. E4 for Prag wins directly. D4 for Prag winning in tiebreak. E5 for Gabriel Sargsyan winning this directly in classical games. D5 for Gabriel Sargsyan winning in tiebreaks. Akshay Nathu, Sagar bhai, what are the protocols of playing arena hall, phones, moving around, arbiters? Can a player stand and watch other games? Can he talk? Yes, you can enter the hall and you can watch, but phones are not allowed. You have to switch them off, or deposit them outside the playing hall, and you cannot talk to the players after the game. Maybe in whispers is okay, but otherwise not. Karthik Krishna says Nihal mainly because of his current form. Yes, I also think Nihal's current form is great, but World Cup is an altogether different beast. There's so much pressure of knockout, and Nihal did play well in Swiss tournaments where you have the ability to take each round individually. Here it's like a match, and sometimes it gets very difficult to play with the pressure. But let's see what you guys think. Whoa, you think Pragnananda will win in the tie breaks? Very interesting, guys. D4, 171 of you. That's around 40%, 45% of you think that he will win in tie breaks. Around 30% of you think he will win directly. But also Gabriel Sargsyan has his support. 12 to 13% people think he'll win directly in classical games, and 12 to 13% think that he will win in the tie breaks.
This game started or what?
No, really? Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
People are saying.
अरे दोस्तों, we'll do the thing, the voting thing again later for the remaining games, because Gukesh's game has just begun. You guys are so timely that I have no chance of going wrong here with the chat being so attentive. Thank you all for being so wonderful, so amazing. And D4 has been played in game 1. E6 by Teclaf. C4, and he plays the move B6. Guys, this is known as the Owen system. Oh no, E4, B6 is Owen. I would say this is the English defense, right? This is the English defense. Nirup Bhatt, sorry guys. Nirup Bhatt says chat will support Pragnananda even if it's against Magnus. I doubt. But yeah. So we have Bishop B4. I want to just show you in our chess base as to how this opening pans out. So if you go D4, E6, C4, B6, knight to C3. So you will see that this is a well-known system, but if you look at who are the black players who have played it, you will see Hikaru Nakamura has played it a lot. Pankratov and Eltat Safarli. You know, many players have played who want to play for a win, and Bishop B4 has been played here. So here the main moves are E4. There is also Queen C2. There is also E3. What happened? Okay, there's also E3. I think it's an interesting choice by Teclaf in this must-win situation, because it does put Gukesh under some doubt. Firstly, you can see Gukesh is thinking for 4 minutes here, and he doesn't know how to respond to this very clearly. He's thinking on the fourth move, so that's already a small victory for Pavel Teclaf. But I'm thinking about what should white play. See, e4 does make sense, but it sharpens things up considerably. Like, let's say bishop b7, I'm attacking this pawn, and then Gukesh can go f3. But you know, guys, a move like f3 already signals ambition, because you don't have the square on f3 for your knight, so you will have to develop it on e2, and already this results in positions which are more complex than when you can put your knight here. So that explains why Gukesh's decision was e3. Very calmly he has played his pawn to e3. And one more reason that I should tell you why e6 b6 are more complex openings, in a way that there are more chances of getting a complicated game, is because the structure is not determined. You know, why black can go f5, black can go d5, black can go c5 in the position. There are many ways to break, and that is the reason why that in this position it's a good way to play for a win. You want scorecard on display. Okay. By the way, Gukesh goes NGE2 in this position. Very interesting move. And he wants to play A3 and take this knight back with his other knight. Okay. Should I put some kind of a scorecard so that the new people who come, they don't have to worry about, you know, they will know instantly what is happening here. Okay, let's do that. Okay, one second. I will do it. I'll do it. You know, I'm a professional streamer, so I have things ready always. D Gukesh and Pavel. But I should have done this before the round, but I'll do it for the next time. So let me see if I can put it up here. Anish Giri versus Vladislav Artemiev. ये देखो, ये आ गया Gukesh versus Teclaf. And what I'll do is I'll actually put Teclaf like this, you know, because there's only one game here, and I'll put Gukesh like this here. Guys, now it's good, right? Professional. इसी बात पे let's reach 710k subs. No? Oh my god, look at this. Guys. See, first you play bishop b7. Okay, black says, my bishop is on this beautiful diagonal. I am loving it. So Gukesh says, look, Teclaf, you have come and given me some taklif by pinning my knight here. I know that if I play a3, you want to double my pawns, correct? He wants to take, and you want to double my pawns, correct? So what I will do to you, अब भी प्रोफेशनल स्ट्रीमर वगैरह सब बोला है ना. Okay, एक सेकेंड. So So he says to his opponent कि देखो तुम इधर आया, you want to take here and double my pawns, correct? So what I'll do is I'll go knight e2. I won't even play bd2 because bd2 means giving you a respect, giving your move bishop b4 some respect. I'll play knight e2 and then I will play a3. फिर जब तुम मारोगे तो मेरा डबल पॉन्स भी नहीं होएगा. I'll take with the knight and I'll get a great position. Okay, so Teclaf says I will play f5 and Gukesh. Now you notice how my pawns are actually helping my bishop to stay open. You know, like this in this row. And therefore my knight will jump here and my knight will come to e4. Then I will castle, bring my rook up, swing my other rook over and I will checkmate you on the king side. Gukesh is like, calm down Teclaf. First tell me, Pavel, what are you going to do about the move a3? Do you want to take on c3? Because if you take, I will take with the knight and my knight is beautifully placed. Next move, I will play f3, blunting your bishop. Okay. And then I will put my bishop on d3 and you will get nothing. So Teclaf is like, okay, point taken, Gukesh. I will go back to d6 and now my bishops are looking at your king. This is very dangerous position for you. Gukesh is like, really, you think this position is dangerous for me? I would have agreed if my king was on g1. Then you would have put some lot of pressure. But mera to king e1 pe hai. Still nothing as yet. I have not determined anything. And now I will make sure that one of your bishops' mouth is closed and I will play my pawn to d5. Beautiful move by Gukesh. And now the bishop on b7, who had this beautiful desire to kind of roam freely on the diagonal, suddenly sees its dream being closed. It's like, you know, you go and give an examination and then you fail in it and then you are like, oh my god, it's so horrible. Same thing for the bishop. It was like such a beautiful diagonal, but suddenly Gukesh has closed it. Chris Kane says, Sagar bhai, if you rest today, you can stream 100% for 3-4 streams. Short-term pain, but long-term gain. Exactly. Gukesh is going to ensure today that I'll take rest. Because Gukesh is like, okay, yeah, I could have played a long stream, but then Sagar has to stream a lot. His health is not good. So let me just end the game today and then, you know, finish the match in 2 games. So that's his plan. So now, this d5 move, bishop band. Okay. Ye bishop abhi bhi, this bishop still has some hope, but this bishop is closed. So Teclaf is now thinking. Teclaf is thinking, kare to kya? What should we do so that my opponent will get into trouble? Kyunki Gukesh is sorted. Gukesh ka life mein aim bahut hi simple hai. If I go knight f6, Gukesh has a very sorted move in this position and I'm going to ask all of you to find it. White to play, find a sorted move. Matlab, hint bhi sun lo. It is a move that makes white's position ekdam sorted. Abhi tum log puchoge what is sorted, you will understand when you find the answer. US asks if tiebreak goes to 1-1, what's the procedure? Procedure is to play another 10 plus 10, not 25 plus 10. Then again 1-1, 2 games. Then you go 5 plus 3. Then you go 1 plus 1. Sorry, Armageddon. टेक्लाफ को तकलीफ पे डाल दिया. Exactly, वेंकटेश एस, यही हुआ है. टेक्लाफ in trouble. So, what are the moves being suggested? अरे यार chat. तुम लोग यार मतलब you guys who Hamad Qureshi, Savita Chess, MBR KT, Aditya Shankar, Jaikar Pandurangan, Pulkit Rathi, Netra Sajiv, Purba Guha Mazumdar, Anand Sharma, Samad Shandilya, you all the people who have written G3 move should seriously consider about, you know, playing chess tournaments. Because kya move hai? What a move. You see, देखो बातें talk between the bishop and knight. Bishop is like, "Arey knight, thoda side जाना है. Like, give me way, you know. I have to go to e2. King order आया ऊपर से. The orders have come from the king that he wants to castle. I need to move ASAP. Move. Knight is like, bishop. भाई देख ये bishop इधर मेरे को जाने नहीं दे रहा है. Knight is taken the c3 square. Okay, d4 square is there, but I will get kicked away with some c5 e5. मेरे को डर लग रहा है. I don't want to go to d4. Knight f4, but शायद there is some problem. Knight g3, f4 में कम. Bishop is like, अरे भाई, but king ऊपर से order है, what to do? Like, find your own way. Like, okay, I'll play g3. So g3 with the idea of bishop g2, and the bishop finds its path. King is like, okay, ठीक है, चलो. Bishop, and knight is also very happy. Knight is like, thanks bishop bhai, now I can, you know, take the decision at the right time. If he takes here and here, then I will think of going knight d4 and taking this pawn. So you see, the pieces talk to each other. Daksh says, I don't know if it is relevant to Chessbase India, but would love to see an interview of evolution with Gamer Fleet. Yeah, true. I would also love to know more about him. He's a wonderful person, but yes, he doesn't play much chess. But we'll make him play chess and then do evolution with him. So, B, knight f6 पे आया है. Teclaf has thought for a long time and he couldn't find really good ideas. Meanwhile, this knight on b8. Let's talk to knight on b8. So, hello knight, how are you feeling? He's like, "Arey yaar, in this rapid game, because my boss has to win today, he lost the first game. It's becoming very difficult for me to come out. Generally, I have d7 and c6 as the natural squares in my life, but the d7 pawn is not coming, you know, is not going to move ahead. There is a bishop blocking the path. The pawn has moved to d5 in his ambition to play unconventional chess, so I don't have this path. But okay, I see that I have one line open on a6, but you know, I see my future as very dim, because from a6 my only path is that I have c5, but if I go to a6, then b4 will come, and I'm very depressed right now. I don't know what to do. It seems like my life is really bad. Okay, thank you so much, be it night. We will see how your life goes. Okay, so that is what may happen. Arey Soumya Ranjan Mishra, thank you so much. Oh, we have we 710k? We haven't reached yet 710k. Whom should we interview now? Which piece? Let's ask. Which piece should we interview? What do you think, guys? Yeah, you know, when you talk to the pieces, they tell you what they want in life. Knight is bad. Let bishop on c1. Bishop on c1 is a very cheerful person, you know, like, hello bishop c1, what's your email? Like, oh, we are very happy as a team, you know, we have won the first game. Now the second game we only need a draw. My boss has told me that I will get a position ready. He's kept it on d2 for me, and I'm already qualified for it. But if b2 pawn, who I've just spoken to, decides to help me and goes b4, then I will also get a great future for my life with this. Also, it depends on the b8 knight who was just recently interviewed, where he comes. If he goes knight a6, definitely b4 will come and bishop b2. So I'm very happy in my life right now. Okay, thank you, bishop. Now Gukesh has already played his move knight to d4. Gukesh, I think, in Gukesh's conversation which happened, which is different from my conversation, right, with the pieces, Gukesh's bishop actually convinced the knight to move, and g3 would have been much better, but he goes knight d4, opening up the place for the bishop. Also, Gukesh is like, if you play e5, I will take the pawn on f5. Meanwhile, if you have to defend your pawn on e6, notice how this pawn is hanging, then you go queen e7. I could think about winning your bishop here on knight b5. So that's the reason why knight d4 looked like a great move for Gukesh. But look what Teclaf did. Teclaf says, thank you, Gukesh. Thank you. Now, with you making two moves with the same piece in the opening, you are lagging behind in development, and I am ready to give you a pawn. Take this pawn. If you want to do this, let's go. And suddenly the b8 knight over here who was into it, like, oh my god, thank you, c6 square has opened up for myself. This is great news. Also for one pawn, guys, one pawn. Let's imagine I play a move like bishop e5, you take and I take with the queen. Suddenly black's bishop has opened up. This bishop on b7 is like, thank you so much for giving me a free life. Everyone in black's, if black kingdom ever existed, everyone would be like, e6 pawn, you are the greatest. You have given fresh life to the b8 knight, to the b7 bishop. You have just made our life beautiful by doing this. So that's the reason why right now d takes e6 is really not the move that Gukesh is looking for, because d5 pawn is public enemy number one for black. Black pieces, this pawn is just making it worse for the knight, the bishop, everyone. Also notice that e takes d5 actually does not win a pawn because knight takes f5 was hanging. A good move for Gukesh now is bishop e2, and he plays it. Gukesh is like, yes, Teclaf, you can give me a pawn, you can bait me, but I am not going to take it. I know my limits here. I want to quickly play bishop e2 and I want to castle it out. Oh, by the way, we have reached 710k. That is very nice. We started off today stream. Once again, I'll tell you exactly, guys. What I do is I just swipe back and I go to the point where the stream started, and I see it was 709,643. So we have had around 350 people who have subscribed today. So thank you all for subscribing, for taking us to 710k. Our aim is very high in this World Cup. We want to reach 800k by the end of it, and that also depends on how far the Indian players go. Let's imagine that someone goes until the finals, then August tak chalega. There will be a lot of people who will watch it, and maybe we'll reach there. But in case we don't, we can at least try. So bishop e2 was played in this position. And now what should black do? Okay, so black is thinking कि भाई देखो ये जो pawn है d5 पे knight d4. By the way, when I did this, did the voice actually come on the mic? This is like movie like scene, yeah? Anyway, so knight d4, the idea is to take on e6. But as we have already seen, taking on e6 gives black a lot of activity. But it's always in the air, like if white castles, then he would seriously consider taking here. So Teclaf has to come up with a plan. Now, if he goes knight a6, as we have discussed, then there is this move b4, which stops the knight from entering the position. It's like this knight maybe studied a course, something like printing engineering, where there is no future, So then he has to, like play c6, and then maybe find a chess career or stand-up comedy career or something like that, So this knight a6 is not a good idea. Okay, so bishop e2, and now the idea is to just castle for white. Hey guys, what all of you are saying here, ki Samay and all, it's just coincidence. Okay, anyway, let's focus on the game. Some future shower, someone is trading and stuff like that. And Syed Mohammad Muzakkir says best month, chess World Cup and Olympics ahead. Yes, chess World Cup. Also remember there's chess online Olympiad which has been announced yesterday from 13th of August, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 13th of August. India will play somewhere in September, I believe, because we are in the top tier. But it will be great fun. That was the time when we started streaming, I and Amruta and Samay, and we did the commentary together, and it was so much fun. There were so many people who watched it, and then there was Anish who joined in. Vidit would come after his games. There was this entire team coming in, and so many people watched. Actually, at what was it? At the semi-finals, we had close to 49,000 concurrent viewers. At the finals, we had 68,000 plus people. So it was tremendous. So yeah, no, I'm talking about, of course, the Olympics is also great fun but for the chess world as well, there is more than just the World Cup. There are many other things, and of course, the Olympics. It's one event which I follow very, very seriously. I enjoy it because there the human spirit is shown in such great measure. Of course, I remember the times when we watched all our really amazing players. They would fight for in all those categories like boxing and weightlifting and everywhere, and then we would see like, oh, can they win a medal? And then it is amazing. The Olympics is really fun to see. I'm also waiting for a day when chess would come into the Olympics. That would be just great for us. Okay, by the way, knight e4. So the knight says, I'm going to e4, and if white will take here, then I'll take with the f pawn, opening up the rook in this position. That is my plan. But also, guys, then d takes e6. Doesn't it win a pawn? Because now it's even better. The bishop is no longer open. It's blocked by its own pawn. However, after a move like queen f6, threatening a mate on f2, and then you castle, in this position, black takes back the pawn and he has a fine position. So I don't think Gukesh is going to take here on e6 anytime soon. But if he castles here, then knight takes c3, b takes c3, spoils the structure, and now knight on b8 is like there is an ad which comes here like, if you do printing engineering, you will get a job at Google. So you're like, oh, what? Knight a6, knight c5. Wow, this is the job at one of the best companies in the world. Similar. So the thing is, positions change, emotions change of the pieces based on how everyone else is interacting with the position. Chess is a very complex game. A knight which moves from f6 to e4 and decides to take a knight on c3 makes the knight on b8 happy. And that's why you have to be constantly alert about what's happening in the position. So therefore, knight e4 has been played here, and now it's white to play. What would you do here in this position is my question. Actually, it's a complex one, and I would be very keen to know what are the suggestions that come in. So white to play, guys. What are your moves that you think? Okay, I just wanted to know some of the ideas which you think here in this position. And so let's have a look at what the chat says here. Queen c2 is one of the moves that you all are mentioning. Okay, very interesting move. Do you think that loses a pawn? Okay, bd2. Yeah, knight e4, knight b5. Okay, knight cb5 maybe, or knight db5. Castles. Castles not great, I feel. f3, bishop f3. All these moves, f3, bishop f3, they don't really address the main problem, which is to take on c3. You know, that is the main problem. So queen d3, nc b5, bd3. So let's think a bit here. Bishop e2, knight e4 has been played, and now what should white do here? Okay, let's think. So queen c2 is a move that many of you mentioned in this position, but it's a top move according to all of you. I was thinking, guys, what if I take queen takes, e takes d5, okay, c takes d5, and bishop d5? Isn't that a free pawn? Also here, so I get a feeling that queen c2 is a bit too slow. My feeling overall, okay, bd2 is an interesting move that you all mentioned, because after bishop d2, bishop c, knight c3, bishop c3, now ed5 makes no real sense, because after cd5, bishop d5, there are many strong moves. In fact, there is one very powerful move here. I would like you to guess, what should white play here? White to play. Let's go. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. The right answer has been suggested by Kausik Banerjee, Sheikh Sohail, Chaitanya Chaudhary, Arkish Chakraborty, 18P3481, Nishchay Patil, Mahideep Deb, Anish K, Deepak Tamta, Bhagyansh Sahu. Well done, all of you. You have found the right move in this position, which is knight to b5, hitting the bishop on d6, also unleashing an attack on the bishop on d5. So that is not a good idea. So I think bishop d2, very good suggestion by all of you who have said it. Another move which I think makes a lot of sense is to take and take. Now, you really don't want to get the rook to be so active on the f file, but it is a price that you may have to pay in order to quickly castle, and also in the long run, this bishop is blunted by its own pawn. Again, you know that after take and bishop d5, the same problem of knight b5 hitting this and the queen taking the bishop, that is a big problem. So that's the reason why in this position castles seems like the best move that we can play. But again, I feel somewhere, guys, that castling is not something that Gukesh might want to do in this winning, in the fact that he has won the first game. He doesn't want to get into positions where there's one piece looking here, one piece looking here, the queen entering on h4. He might not want to get into all that business. So he will be thinking very carefully, but look at his time. I feel that Gukesh is clearly under stress. He is thinking he has 6 minutes left only in the position, and he is thinking now. Yeah, it's not easy, guys. It's not easy to decide. I think this decision will impact how this game goes. I was also thinking, guys, अगर यही problem है that he's taking and getting the c5 for himself square, why don't we move our knight to b5 by attacking the bishop? But then, there's this nice coordination that the knight moved here. So the bishop jumps to e5 and then he sits on f6 if needed. Like if you push him away, he can go back. Also, there's queen h4 check. So you have to be careful. So here, I think black has managed. Overall, I feel that when Gukesh went knight d4, instead of that, if he had gone g3, he would have got a position which was much simpler to play. It's a different matter whether both moves look okay. Like knight d4 is not bad. It's just that after castles, bishop e2 and knight e4, he has some very complex decisions to make. Where to play what. Should he take the knight? Should he defend it with the bishop? Should he play queen to c2? And this is what Teclaf wanted in this match. In this, when he's a point down in the match, he really wants Gukesh to get confused. He wants Gukesh to start thinking a lot, burn his time, where you can see that Gukesh is now down to 5 minutes. My goodness. He is now down like 9 minutes than his opponent. Guys, this is the live board right now on the screen. That is there. Vaibhav Sevekari says, why not e6? You mean to take here? Yeah, just that. Let's say I take, and then even a move like, just knight a6. It just helps black tremendously, because after take, I can just take queen d7. Look at these two bishops. Happy, happy, happy. Happiness defines everything that the black pieces feel right now. Meanwhile, Gukesh has come to the conclusion that bishop d2 is the right move. Kudos to everyone who thought about it. Gukesh, after putting in a complete 10 minutes on the clock, has come up with bishop d2. That is huge time investment. That is like if you have a savings of 25 lakh rupees in your bank, then you have already spent 10 lakh rupees on this move. 25 minutes like that. Oh, Anand's game will start now. Yes, in 1 minute. In 1 minute, Vishy Anand will start his match against Vladimir Kramnik at, I think I have the board here already. No castling chess, guys. Here they go. First round. Oh, Anand plays f3. What? Did he really play knight? Did he really play f3? No. Guys, it must be some guest who has come here. Okay? कोई guest आया रहेगा who would have made this opening move. Generally, this happens. Yeah, when there's a digital board, then they make this move, and then we're like, oh, what? He really just make this move and all of it. So, but I don't think. But no castling chess में कुछ भी हो सकता है, no guys, because you can't castle, so you can put your king here. All of that stuff happens, but I feel it's not the right move even to play in no castling chess. I don't think they will do that. Meanwhile, guys, look at this professional. Okay, like professionalism देखना, ठीक है? Now you may think that why am I putting myself on full screen? Because the professional streamer here in just 5 seconds sets this up, okay, and then when he switches back like this, he's like, okay guys, now you can see Gelfand versus Teclaf, but okay, there's Anand versus Kramnik, but there is this score niche which I couldn't get rid of. But this is a great match. No castling chess, going to be great fun. I think Vishy has started the game with c4. Kramnik has spoken before that moving the rook pawns in no castling chess is a big thing here. Yes, there'll be 4 rounds. And Kramnik instantly plays c5. But the thing is that professional streamer, professional. I couldn't get the names changed. I could have done it. In that time, but I thought, okay, maybe we'll leave that for later. So just imagine, okay, I'll just tell you which line we can look at. See, you go knight f6, okay, knight c3, d5, cd, knight d5, e4, knight c3, dc3, take. Now this line makes no difference in no castling chess. It's like white is just very happy to reach this position. So black should never get into such a position. Here, what will really change is that, let's say I go for the Catalan, like normal stuff, okay, d5, cd, ed, d4, say Tarash system. Now the most natural move is to castle. अरे पर no castling chess में castle ही नहीं कर सकते. So suddenly, like I go knight c3, he goes bishop e7, both kings cannot castle. Then all of a sudden, he plays say bishop g5, and you can think of h5, h4, get your rook here. No castling changes the entire terrain of chess, and that is why I'm very excited to see what happens. And by the way, the bar is useless, right? In such positions, it's completely useless because it is factoring in all its evaluations with castling coming in. But if castling does not happen on the board, then what? I mean, then all its evaluations are wrong. So the best way to analyze these games are, how can we analyze these games without castling? Yes, so the best way to analyze is knight f3, knight f6, rook g1, rook g8, rook h1, rook h8, knight g1, knight g8. अभी castling कर नहीं सकते. Also do it for the other side. दोनों side castling options are gone because the rooks have moved. And now after 8 moves, we have reached the no castling position. Now let's play the moves. 220 IQ, 220 IQ. E6. E3. This is the position on the board. So let's go to Gukesh's game and see what's happening there. 1 second, Gukesh. Yeah, here's Gukesh game. So after bishop d2, it is now time for Teclaf to go into a long think. Oh, Santosh Kumar says Pranav won the Blitz event of Parisian Open. Wow, very nice. Argon says use board editor and turn off castling. That's also a way. Correct. That is true. You can also do that. Also in chess base, you can turn it off that way for analysis. But this is also another way to do it. Board will not update. I'll have to manually make moves. That is true. So right now after bishop d2, black is thinking, okay, I'm Teclaf. I'm thinking for my move. What should I play? My knight on e4 is very well positioned. It is looking at the f2 square. I don't want to take here because his bishop comes up. Can I just take his bishop? Because then the problem is that it's not about what goes outside the board. It's about what remains on the board. What remains is that this queen, knight and bishop all coordinate beautifully. So I'm not really a big fan of knight takes d2 here. So if that is not possible, then black is thinking, I can't take on c3, I can't take on d2, knight on a6 really cannot do much. So what should I do? Kare to kare kya? What shall we do? Guys, need your help. As always, the chat can help me. Black to move. What do you think, guys, is a good move for black? Black to play. Can you help me? Yes, Shreya, the bishop pair advantage is there after knight d2, queen d2. But the problem is that your bishop on b7 is very, very much blocked. And that's where the bishops are not happy. So there's no scope. Yeah, there is a suggestion that is coming in. Let's see what the chat suggests here. Queen h4. हाँ, तुम लोग को सबको एक मूव में मेट करना है. You all want to checkmate your opponent in one move. Knight a6, right? b4, but I don't like it. There is also a suggestion being made of c6, very interesting. Bishop e5, right? c5. So all the suggestions that are being made are queen h4, oops, sorry, queen h4, knight a6, c6, bishop e5. Very interesting ones. In fact, I was very interested about bishop e5, and also c6 seemed very interesting. But I think after c6, d takes e6, the problem is that this bishop is also closed, and you can't take back because knight e6 is coming. Maybe you can go c5 here, but then after nd b5, I attack your bishop. It's not so simple. Teclaf has played the move queen to g5, clearly becoming very aggressive here. Queen g5. Wow. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Agar if I castle, knight c3, bishop c3, correct? E d5, c d5, bishop d5. What would you play here as white? White to play. You remember last time I had mentioned one very cool move in this position where you could play. But what would you do here? White to play. Note down your moves. Let's see how many fall in my trap. Hit a look. How many people fall into my trap? What if in any round no tie break is needed? Lash, Ramesh, usually that doesn't happen, but yes, then it would be a free day. Correct. Let's see how many people actually fell for my trap here. Oh, yes. Pratyush Goyal, thank you so much for becoming backer of Indian chess. We have, don't run away, Mohit Mohan, Argon, Antimatter Wins, Karan Patra, Divyashri, Nirup Bhatt, Dev Agarwal, Deepak Sharma, Shreyas Soni, Vikas Saini, who have fallen for this by playing knight b5. I knew it. This was the move that was working out well. But here, queen takes g2 is a checkmate in one move. One move, not moves here. So that's the reason why you cannot play this. But a very good move here would be bishop f3, as has been mentioned by Satwik, Tapas, Nitish, Invento, Shreyas, Utsav, Jash, Janardhan, Somesh, and Atharva Puranik. Well done, all of you. You found the right move. Bishop to f3, and if he takes, then just simply knight takes f3 back, or even queen takes f3 could be a strong idea, but just knight f3 with the plan of attacking the queen and threatening a check and winning the rook here. It's looking very, very deadly. But Gukesh doesn't castle. Gukesh goes here, bishop f3. Wow. Why was Gukesh afraid of castling? No idea. He went bishop f3 in this position. Dynamic chess also, knight f3 is also very good here. Like if you play here knight to f3 attacking the queen, then just he will take, and then play maybe knight c6. Yeah, this also looks very strong. Very good compensation with bishop d5 check and f4 coming in. I mean, it looks great. So yeah, you could play either way here. But Gukesh's move, bishop f3, does show some nerves here. He is not ready to part away with material. And now Teclaf says, Dekho, a move, you know, how is that, what is that saying? A butterfly flaps its wings in Mumbai, and earthquake occurs in maybe somewhere in the US, you know, something like that. The thing is, with this bishop moving here, suddenly this knight is able to come to a6. You may ask, what is the problem now still with b4? The only thing that you can feel now is that the black pieces are much more coordinated with rook a e8, with his knight now. Maybe at some point he may even try to, you know, sack here, try to come to b4, Also, there are now threats of taking and maybe trying to win the pawn. So this bishop moving here, somehow you get this feeling that the knight has better scope. Also c6 at the right moment will come in. So Anurag Muktevi, thank you for becoming backer of Indian chess. But I like, and by the way, Gukesh has gone b4 because there was no point in allowing the knight to come to c5 here. So he went b4 in the position. And now 3 minutes left for Teclaf. You can see how stressed out both these players are and how important this event is for them from the amount of time they are taking for their moves. For a 25-minute game, they have just played 12 moves in the last 24 minutes. So now it's down to the last minute for Gukesh, 3 minutes for Teclaf. And I get the feeling that Teclaf fans could, should be happy with what they have got here, because clearly Gukesh is not very happy. It's not a free flowing position. He has had to think, and I think that Teclaf has played this well until now, but it's still only 12 moves. And now he's down to 2 minutes 20 seconds. Remember, there is a 10-second increment on the clock for every move you make. But when you are down to those last few seconds, 10 seconds is nothing. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right now, when I say it, for you it seems like, wow, that's quite a lot of time. But if you are playing in a high pressure World Cup tournament in this playing hall, and your elimination depends upon it, 10 seconds are nothing, and a lot of mistakes can happen there. So b4. No, I think Khush Jain, that was not a great idea. It's a possibility what you have mentioned, that instead of queen g5, you wanted to play queen h4. But let's say after g3, you may want to sacrifice this way. I can take, bishop takes, and now I can just play king f1. I won't take it back. And my king is not so weak. Like, I can just go king g1. And next move, my bishop will quickly sit here. My knight can come to the defense. My queen can join in. So it looks okay. Meanwhile, b4, and Teclaf has gone down to 1 minute on his clock. 1 minute. I would really not say that taking this e6 pawn is the right decision, because anyway he's going to come rook a8. But Teclaf goes c5, which is a big mistake. You can see that Teclaf bar has risen up like anything, and I believe he's just simply missed the fact that Gukesh can just play en passant here. Takes, and what about just taking the e6 pawn? Now there is a huge fork. What happened, Teclaf? Did he just simply forget about his e6 pawn? See, the problem was he could not even take with the bishop here. Because after knight c6, dc6, knight e4, fe4, bishop e4, he just loses a free pawn. So he played dc6, dc6, but now Gukesh is thinking he has just 18 seconds on the clock, but take it. What is Teclaf's idea after knight e6? Has he just sacrificed an exchange? There is a fork here, guys. There's a huge fork. Has he just given up an exchange just like that? What is the reason that he has given this up? What? G3? Why? Guys, I am not able to understand what's going on. This is clearly, I mean, if I take here, what is happening? Queen h4, threatening a mate. I have g3. Maybe Gukesh thought that there is bishop g3, hg3, knight g3, but the knight, this is also defended. This here. Gukesh went g3. This is nerves, guys. This is nerves at its highest. A player who's one of the biggest talents in the world of chess also is unable to think clearly when under time pressure. And now, just rook e8, queen f6, all these moves look very good for black. This is not even time pressure, guys. This is not even time pressure. This is the occasion pressure. Playing the World Cup, once first time Gukesh has made it to the World Cup. You know, it's all learning experience for the youngster. I mean, don't think that a player like Gukesh cannot see a move like 96 within a few seconds. By the way, Teclaf now blunders here with bishop e5. You see both the players being so nervous. They both are making errors and both are. Gukesh has last few seconds left on the clock. I hope he doesn't lose on time. Oh, he took on e4, which was the right move, fe4 and bishop e4. And now he's made the best move in the position. And he's clearly on track now. Yeah, this is battle of nerves, absolutely. And anything can happen now. Should we take on e6? He just castles. Gukesh is like, "Bhai, abhi मैं king को save कर लेता है. I'll just save my king." Now he is threatening knight e6. Queen f6 by Teclaf. I still can't say that this game is going Gukesh's way, although he has a super advantage here. He played queen e2. Maybe queen to c2 was a better move, but queen e2 has been played. If Gukesh now just plays all the best moves, he's totally winning. But with just 10 seconds on the clock for Teclaf and 20 for Gukesh, it's not going to be possible to play best chess. Oh, Srinath has mentioned a very nice variation here, which is knight takes e6. In this position over here, instead of g3, if takes, take here, take on f8, take on c3, and now knight d7. Oh, that move. So this is why Gukesh may not have played it. Correct. That is possible, that he did not see this last move and he thought it's very complicated. Although he did have queen b3 also in that position that could be played, but right now the position is here and I think Gukesh is totally winning this. He is pawn up. Actually, he's not materially up, but he's totally better here. He can now push his pawn to b5 and he is well on track to winning. h6. And now, yeah, Gukesh can just enter the position with rook d7, plays b5. He should be winning completely better here. Plays his bishop to e3, knight g7. Okay, can we just go in and exchange here? He plays queen g4, knight f5. Both players starting to move very quickly. Knight f5 on the clock, 20 seconds for Gukesh, 34 for Pavel Teclaf. He takes on c6. Okay, what if knight e3, fe3 and queen f2 check, king h8? Are we going to witness any further twists and turns in this position in this game? I don't think so. Knight e3. I don't think they will lose on time, guys. Just that when it's playing on the board, like on an actual board, in order to sync it to the live board is not very easy. Bishop c8 is played here, defending the pawn. Queen e2. Gukesh is like, I have one extra pawn in the position. I'll go rook f1. I'll exchange a few pieces. All I need is a draw. This is a great position for Gukesh to, hold it. Queen d3. Is there any way that black can create any play? It doesn't seem so. He comes to b2 and now Gukesh goes rook f1. A very, very good move from the perspective of, wanting just equality, because after rook f1, king f1, queen f6, king g2, there is queen b2 check, but Gukesh is okay with the draw, just moving back and forth. Yeah, I think that we will soon have Gukesh also making it here. We may have all 12 players moving to round 2. The check, okay. I think Gukesh has seen that there's a perpetual. There is a perpetual, queen d8. Now if king e5, guys, you know what's happening. Yes, king e5, what's the problem? Yeah, you can't go there. And a draw incoming, guys. That means Gukesh has made it to the second round of the World Cup. What a great result for him. He was slightly worse in the first game, in trouble, but he managed to convert it and win when his opponent blundered. And in the second game, after a battle of nerves, he has drawn it and advanced to the second round of the World Cup 2021. That means we have all 12 Indians advancing to round 2, and Gukesh will take on the very, very difficult opponent in round 2, Daniil Dubov. But what a day for Indians, because Gukesh was facing a tough challenge from Pavel Teclaf of Poland, but he has done it. And oh, was there queen h8 coming at any point? I don't think so, because he always moved his king back. So like check, king here, check, king here, check. And if he had gone king e5, there was queen h8 check. But he went king f7 and then there was a perpetual and a draw was agreed. So Gukesh versus Dubov. So a very quick showdown for all of you, like as to what you can expect tomorrow, just so that you have an idea. You have Hari Krishna versus Kuzeda Perez, 2730 rated. Hari Krishna takes on 2565. You have Arvind versus Nadirbek, one of the closest second round encounters, 2641 versus 2634. You have Nihal Sarin taking on Sanan Sujirov. Great match on cards. Great match. Well balanced. You have Pragnananda versus Sargisian. Youth versus experience. You have maybe the toughest match for the Indians is Inian versus Tomaszewski. But Inian already beat Bogner, who was higher rated to him. So this is going to be a great, great match as well. And now we have Gukesh versus Dubov. We have Harika versus Medina. Harika clearly the favorite. Vaishali versus Bella. Wow, what a game. Sorry guys for that. We have Bhakti versus Pogonina. What a match this is going to be. I think Pogonina is going to be having a tough time with Bhakti this time. And also Padmini versus Sara Khadem. Another tough match there. So the only two matches which are yet to be defined are Adiban versus the winner of Adiban will take on the winner of Alexander. He won. He won. Alexander Fear. No, Alexander Fear and Pekchak is there. So let me just check 1 minute what happened in Pekchak versus. So yeah, we have, I think. Oh, Delgado Ramirez and Niaz Murshid drew again. Wow. That means they have 2 draws now, and we will have another game. And what about? So that will just continue, right? Pekchak and Fear also drew. So that means that we are Adiban and Vidit have not yet got their opponent. Pekchak, Fear, whoever wins, Vidit will play them. And Niaz Murshid and Delgado Ramirez, whoever wins, Adiban will play them. Okay. Okay, so I'll take rest. I'll take rest. I'm just going now. And also, guys, a big thanks to Srinath for coming in the chat. He's there as the team of the men's team over there, and he was following here. I think it was a very interesting position here, and he rightly pointed out that things were not so simple because after d takes e6, the engine shouts out 96, where you can fork these 2 pieces. But after queen f6, where you now the problem is, if you take on e4, there is fe4, and even if you take on f8, I have rook f8, and you can't move the bishop because there is a mate. But there is a way to win here, which is to take here, knight takes c3, and if we look carefully here, bishop c3, queen c3 wins for black. Like if you take and king f1 and bishop f8, black is just better. Well, you have to find knight d7 here, attacking the queen, and after the queen moves, you can pick up this bishop. So this was the move, and maybe queen b3 still keeps an edge for Gukesh, but after knight e4, I think Gukesh did not see that this, how to save his knight from here. So yeah, all in all, I mean, the variations still go on, very complicated stuff, because now this rook is hanging here, so it's not so simple and trivial. And rightly, I think Gukesh decided not to go into that variation. So Gukesh has gone to round 2, and we have all 12 Indians in round 2. I'll end this stream, guys, over here by just having a look at, as a professional streamer, now going to Vishy Anand's game and also bringing his picture here. But guys, look at this. This is the position. What? Seriously? Did their moves not happen or what? They have played. So this is the position on the board. c4, c5, knight f3, knight e6, e3, d5, d4, knight f6, and this is a draw. I mean, this is a symmetrical position. Remember, the kings cannot castle short nor long, so that's the reason why this match is very exciting. I feel that Kramnik has a big upper hand because he's the person who came up with this opening, and he came up with this variant of chess, and he has analyzed these positions with alpha 0. So Anand is clearly at a disadvantage, but Vishy, as we all know, is a very staunch opponent, and he will try his best to figure out. So let's see who comes out of top. Yeah, this is not the position. अच्छा, बहुत आगे गया है गेम. Okay, let me see. Let me check. Okay, I'll try to figure out what are the moves that have happened. Okay, there have been some moves that have happened. So this has happened: knight f6, knight c3, a6. Okay, knight f6, knight c3, a6 has happened, and then d takes c5, bishop takes c5, a3. D takes c5, bishop takes c5, a3. Okay, knight c6, b4, bishop a7. And in this position, very interestingly, Vichy played the move bishop b2, and Kramnik decided to play a very nice move, h5. And this is typical move that you see the engine bar, it rose up. By the way, Trait, thank you so much. He says, take care, don't stress yourself. What you have accomplished for the Indian chess community is unparalleled. Sending you some love. Thank you, Trait. Now you see the bar rose up. That's because it's analyzing lines with castle into taking castle into consideration. But here, let's say if I make the move rook g1, rook g8, rook h1, rook h8, rook b1, rook b8, rook a1, rook a8. And now if we assess this position, the bar still likes white. Interesting. Because I just removed the castling options. You see, chess, because of its nature of being very theoretical, like there are so many openings, there are so many lines and all of it. Some players have always tried to come up with variants so where there is not much theory. In that we have chess 960, we have chess, mainly chess 960 there. But now this no castling chess, what Kramnik said is that it's a very elegant because you don't need anything. You just play the same game and just make sure that both sides do not castle. Bas, यही change है and the entire game shifts considerably. Kevin Pandya, thank you so much. So that is the reason. There is one. There is a channel, Dortmund Chess, I think, who are streaming this live, so you can check it out there. They are also having Alpha Zero engine, who's analyzing these positions and telling who is better. So guys, I'll end the stream and thank you all. Take care. Tomorrow we'll meet at 5:30. Bye bye.